Here comes the, here comes the, here comes the. Y'all don't really want it like. Here comes the, here comes the, here comes the. Y'all don't really want it like. Here comes the, here comes the, here comes the. Y'all don't really want it like. Here comes the, here comes the, here comes the. Y'all don't really want it like. Here comes the, here comes the, here comes the. Y'all don't really
Well,
want it like.
you know, you guys wanted some action, and we got some action. We got one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever touch Dundee, to ever touch flag. Apparently, for what I'm hearing, I had to ask around. I had to ask some questions. Had to do a little bit of research. Hopefully, people didn't disappoint me in the information that they gave to me. But first off, shout out to Ray Martinez and Mr. Ramblaw himself. Guys, any questions or anything that you have to do, whether it's personal injury, criminal, or real estate, Ray will get to you. And if he can't help you personally, he'll give you a contact or he'll lead you in the right direction. So shout out to Ray. Now we got the business out the way. As you guys could see here from my background, um, I could easily admit when I'm wrong. I would say it's one of my greatest qualities, not to aside from all the other great ones, but I was wrong as fuck. You know, I was judging a roster without really understanding maybe chemistry or fuck that even chemistry, just the skill set that we have there. First question I want to ask you: how does it feel to join Dundee, Mr. Tronchi? I haven't even introduced him, but you don't need no introduction. But how does it feel to join Dundee knowing that it's a completely different scheme, completely different type of flag football maybe that you've ever played? I could be wrong, but how is that whole adjustment coming into Dundee?
Done deal. It has been great. I've learned a lot in just a couple weeks I've played in it, and I can't wait to keep playing more in it just to understand the game a lot more. But yeah, man, there's a lot of little tricky things that you can do, and it's something I've always been able to do good in flag is to be able to adjust. And just from week 1 to week 4, I've adjusted tremendously, and I love it, man. I think it's good for the game of flag. It's something new to flag, and it gives the lower tier players a great chance to represent flag football as well, because they've never gotten the limelight that they should get anyways. And I think that this platform is good for them.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's the whole underdog story. The whole you like just to play, play with your friends and play flag football. But this league allows those players to be the piece, the piece of the actual team. You have someone in Sebastian, for example. That guy's
Yeah,
playing great for you guys, bro.
yeah,
People, this is what people are gonna say, and it does have truth. You've elevated his game, right? You drafted him, and you're putting him in position on an offensive, defense side, whatever you want to call it, to elevate his game. But the way that I see it is, he's always had that potential. He's just needed somebody to take it out of. So,
mhm.
how does it feel to how do maybe fuck I'll say it, make someone even better than what people thought? Because in the rankings, they might have been somewhere else, but now for sure, I guarantee you, all these players that have been drafted this season are gonna get drafted a little bit higher next season.
I think as I play DD, the more I play it, everybody that plays with me is going to end up being ranked higher, because I feel like I bring the best out of players, which a lot of people have always said that I'm only as good as the talent around me, but nobody's ever looked to think, is he making those players better? Because there's been other quarterbacks that have had the same player as me, but that player's never flourished as much as he's flourished with me.
What quarterbacks?
I know Eddie had, well, just his last tournament in Miami. And I love Eddie. So, in all honesty, I think Eddie's like great. I think he's probably one of the better quarterbacks in Dundee because of that. He can play offense and defense, and he's a lot high level
Right, he'd
player.
just
But
rather go to
like Eddie,
Disney. Uh-huh.
yeah, Eddie had a couple guys in that last little Flag Football World Championship tour that played with ESS, and they didn't win, right? I mean,
Mm.
Nico's had Lulu. So is Lulu better with Nico or is Lulu better with me?
I mean, bro, spinning facts, talk your shit. At the end of the day, you know,
Even Duke, dude, like Duke is a tremendous athlete. But if I don't put it in that right corner, like there's a pass that somebody has a video, and I'm sure they'll put it in the DD stuff. Like Jerry, we played him in North Carolina a year ago, and Jerry's was like fingertip away from batting it away. So is that a great catch by Duke, or is that a great throw by me? Because everybody's quick to always be like, "Oh my God, Duke's tremendous." It was Duke, and
right?
not the ball placement or where the ball's at. So I think that everybody that plays in DD with me, and you can look at the stats and it kind of shows like Lavaris and Sebastian have like the same amount of catches, same amount of touchdowns. I've even thrown picks this year that Lulu's come back to me and been like, bro, like, come on, man. I'll be like, dude, I can't play that, throw the ball to the same person, everything. I just like playing football, man. And whoever's open is going to get it. And if it happens to be a tier 6 and it costs me a pick, bro, hey, oh well.
It is what it is. But I'm not gonna lie, bro. Before you even joined the deal, before you even joined the tournament, uh, I sometimes like to hear about what's going on in the flag world. I know like a little bit, not as much as obviously you guys, but this was your story always. People always said, "Oh, yeah, bro, but Tronky's always around all these horses, bro, and he's around all these great players, and you know, of course, bro, if I had those players, you know, I would do great and stuff like that." And then, oh, in ESS, all they do is travel to these weird ass tournaments that are not even that big with that much competition. Does that ever like affect you at all?
I mean, bro, you hear it and you can use it as motivation to what I do all the time. Is like every time I play, I just want to prove everybody wrong, no matter what. This last tournament that we went to for FWC, we lost in the championship to YTG, and you name the players that were on my team. I don't think there's another quarterback that would have made it to the ship with that. I went to the ship in Vegas with the Swoosh guys. It was just me, Lulu, Duke, and then we played with the Swish guys. They picked us up to play with them. We made it to the ship, and I think those guys are all tremendous players. I've made it to the ship with when I first came back to playing flag football. We lost to 305 when they were at their peak in red zone, and I would lose to them with C players in the championship. But that meant I was beating all the other pro or top gun teams, whatever you want to call them, to get there, right?
Right.
With C players. So that, I mean, they can all say whatever they want to say. The fact that I'm always in a championship, they can't take that from me one way or another, and whoever's playing with me.
I'm not gonna lie, man. Obviously, I don't wish bad or bad luck on anybody because you know there's a bunch of teams that I would love for them to win, a bunch of teams that I would honestly love for them to lose. You honestly don't fit in that category in either side. Like I'm like you know I'm not super excited for the Bucks to win. I'm not like and I don't want you guys to lose.
Yeah.
But what I mean by
Yeah.
that is like you guys were ranked by the bottom by me, right? And honestly, with other sources that really agreed with what I was saying, but that one thing that I heard that honestly that never ever like got out of my brain was, man, you don't know Tronky and Lulu, bro. You don't know those guys together. You guys you could put them against. I love you, Ramos. You're a day one. You could put 3 more George Ramos in there. They're gonna make some noise. So already coming to done deal, and let's be honest, you gotta play defense now. I'm pretty sure you don't play defense in none of these tournaments, right? No. So you're playing defense out here, boy. You're getting pick sixes. You're fucking throwing the guns. You know, you're doing your thing, man. How does playing defense? Let's talk about defense now. How does it feel to play that side of the ball now?
I love it because it's a new challenge. And even when I knew Lulu was going to draft me at 2, my next thing to him was, I don't care who else you draft, I need Sebastian.
Wow.
I can't have people miss flags while I'm covering. Because most quarterbacks in done deal, as of right now that I've played against, I know what they want to run before they run it. And it's helped me tremendously. I think I've allowed 2 touchdowns all season that have been scored on me. And it's just that is the trust in my rusher and the fact that I know in situations what they want to run. Against the 49ers, for example, I was covering Ham on 3rd down. And I jumped Derek's drag because I knew he was running a drag and he was going to push me to get me out of the way and try to run a drag on Kevin. I looked at Kevin on third down and told him, Kevin, release the drag. I don't care if it's Ham. And I jumped his drag and I stared at Derek in the face and told him to throw it, and he had to take the sack. Either he took a sack or he just threw it away. And after the game, he came to me and was like, damn, bro, like you read that so good. And I was like, bro, it's just knowing situational football. And I've been around for a long time. I kind of understand what quarterbacks want to do before they do it.
Right.
But defense is fun.
Yeah. No, I'm not like I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Now you guys are, must watch TV. If we had to pick primetime games, we got to put the Bucks up there, maybe not on Thursday night, but we'll definitely put them in Sunday night and Monday night.
Sunday night, Monday night.
Yeah, Sunday night, Monday night. But what I was gonna ask you now, man, you've been in Done Deal, you've played flag all over, and you always get into scuffles, stuff like that, whatever the case may be. But DD scuffles are always super interesting to me. Reason being, I've never been a part of in Done Deal of one that actually got out of hand, aside from other party that wasn't involved in Done Deal came and got real disrespectful. But I saw you. I knew it wasn't ever gonna get to there, but not last week, the week before. Y'all and Derek, pretty much Derek versus Lulu, all you guys, bro. You guys were getting into it, bro. You were like, I don't know. I think you said, "Throw it, bitch! Throw that shit!" Da 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 da. And then Derek kicked the ball at Lulu, whatever the case may be. Man, talk about that whole exchange. Is there some history there? Is there some bad blood there? Talk to me.
I mean, not from my end. I always say just keep it football. As long as we keep it football, like, yeah, I mean, the little bitch probably is a little bit too much. But I mean, we should all, like I say, it's a Done Deal family. To me, it's a flag football family. And we should all know that, if we saying bitch or something right then and there, it doesn't mean anything bad. It's just football talk. We getting heated. I mean, our intentions weren't to get into Derek's head. We planned on getting into like Ham's head or something like that, maybe. But it ended up being Derek that got,
the most important player on the team.
Yeah, we got him flustered, and it was just by playing good defense, bro. At the end of the day, I think we have the number one defense in DD right now. And arguably, we have 3 tier 6s. Because if I wasn't a quarterback and I was on the non-throwing list, I would be a tier 6, right?
100%.
So me, Sebastian, and George Ramos are 3 tier 6s on defense. And we're the number one defense.
Oh, shit, you are. 24 points. Wow. Oh.
And we had an extremely bad week last week because we picked up Izzy and we're just figuring stuff out.
Yeah, man. I had you on my Done Deal lineup, man.
Yeah. So we had a bad week defensively because, we just got to get everybody back on the right page. Like Kevin was a big defensive part for us.
Huge.
But him missing week 5 is huge. We don't want to. It's hard to do that for us. So
right, because you guys want that bye week, right?
We need the bye week. Yeah, we want the bye week. We want ball first. So
bye week and you want ball first. I get it. Talking about that trade, man. From my personal analysis, I don't think you guys got better. But I understand why the trade was made. Because Lulu wanted to have his players there. He didn't want to have Ramos on the field the whole game. I totally get that. But damn, was it worth potentially, maybe going 2-2 week 4 or going 3-1 maybe week 4? You guys actually think you would have gone 1-3? I mean week 5, 1-3, and having that piece in Kevin, because I'm actually a fan of Kevin because I feel like the Pats got way better. Kevin's not gonna be the week 5, but they needed to go 2-1, 3-0 Pats, and they needed to do what they had to do. So, do you think that will affect you down the line?
Personally, I don't think so. I think that Izzy being there week 5 will give us more chemistry with him, and I think me and Lulu can get him to do what we need him to do.
Right.
Kevin was a big part, but we play. I think it's the Raiders, Giants, Bengals, and Falcons week 5. What games are we going to win with me and Ramos?
Right.
And I think we get ball maybe in 2 of those games. So you're asking us to be damn near perfect, in both those games just to win 2. And then the other 2, we got to get lucky and try to find a way to get a stop with Ramos, who will probably, I love the guy, but him having to play 4 games, or Lord knows if he'll even make it.
Oh my God, bro! I love that guy, bro. Whenever that guy's running, I feel like it's like we're like in a slow mo fucking thing, or he's always falling for some reason. And then it's funny because then someone said, "Oh, he dove, he dove." No, bro, he didn't
Nah,
dive, bro.
the
He
guy
just
fell.
fell. He just fell, bro. He just fell. I thought that was hilarious. But let's get into some of the juicy shit. Let's get into some of the reasons why you're here. In your opinion, name me the top 3 quarterbacks, not including yourself, in done deal right now.
Top 3 quarterbacks in Dundee. In no particular order.
Nah, give me an order.
Give you an order. I would say I haven't played against anybody on that side, but I'm gonna go Joan, Beaky, and Johan.
Johan, Peaky, and Johan. Top 3. All right. So right now, from all the quarterbacks that are playing right now in Dundee, give me the bottom 3. In no order. Bottom 3.
It sucks. It sucks to even say it because I want these guys to get better, man. But Corona,
Trash.
the quarterback from the Bengals,
Great guy. Trash, though.
and who else is in our conference? Because I haven't really seen many games from the other conference. Bro, I don't really know that many other quarterbacks. So Ray Met's not a bottom 3, but
all right. So you got from the Ravens, you got Devin, you got Derek, you got Josh, you got Tommy, you got Drew, you got Petey, you got Ray Met, you got Peter Velez, you got Fredo, you got Anthony Hernandez, you got Revis slash AJ, you got Cheeky, you got David, you got Eddie, you got Andy Fuentes, and you got Peter.
I would say Peter.
Cowboys?
Yeah, he's a receiver to me. He's a
Right.
receiver trying to make it work. I mean, like, I know that Andy's a receiver too, trying to make it work, but he's a little bit better. Cheeky's a little bit better. Like, all these guys are a little bit better. Yeah, now that you said the quarterbacks, there really isn't
Yeah.
that many, like, really bad ones.
Right.
There's just some that ain't playing. Like, I mean, there's some that have, like, Ray Matt has a really good team, dude. I don't understand why. You know what I mean? And Petey, after playing Petey this week, it's really not Petey's fault, man. I can see why they're struggling over there a little bit.
Right.
All they really, Mark is like he has to carry them, and
yeah, 30 catches.
Once you put somebody like Lulu on him, or an Al or something like that, like these top tier defenders, like, man, he's gonna struggle.
Right.
So, but yeah, I would say that I would have to say Peter, would be the last one I would think of.
All right, let's go back to overall the flag world, your flag career, more or less. So start, bench, cut, right? I don't know if you heard me say this about certain players. All right, start, bench, cut. This might be interesting. I think so. So start, bench, cut at center in each of their prime. Okay, you got Lulu, you got Petey, and you got Mikey, which is the guy from Goose Crew, something
Yeah. Now, before I answer that question, I want to clear the air real quick. Goose Crew, because a lot of people don't know this, was my team. So I won like 8 national championships with Goose Crew before I took 8 years off. So Gakulu got Goose Crew pretty much off me.
Oh shit!
A lot of people don't know that. So like everybody thinks that Goose Crew's Gakulu and that team is so great because of Gakulu, but Carlos Hyman and all those guys. Carlos Hyman was one of my best friends. Me and him played together all through high school since we were kids, 17 years old, playing Top Gun. Like, Goose Crew was my team. But anyways, so I would start Lulu because he's more physical. than Petey. And Petey's right there with him, though. Petey in his prime, a lot of people don't realize how good that guy really was. And when Petey played with Game Time Goose Crew, which was us, Petey had to rush and play center full time.
Oh shit!
You only had a 6-man roster, but just Lulu and the chemistry that me and Lulu got, because Petey wasn't my number one back then. Carlos Hyman was, but Lulu's more my number one now. As I started playing again, so I would say Lulu, start Lulu, bench Petey, cut Mikey, without a doubt.
GG's, Mikey. What was I gonna tell you? What made you take that 8-year hiatus?
Well, I kind of moved to the Keys,
Right.
and I wasn't established yet. You know, I was still a young kid. I just moved to the Keys. I started working, you know, in the family business and stuff, and just that driving back and forth to play in the leagues and stuff like that. Because I was still playing in the leagues and everything with Henry, Albert, Hyman, and all of them, and it just became way too hard for me. So I just was like, man, I want to take some time off, and I took 8 years off of flag at the prime of my career, really.
8 years off of flag. Wow. That's impressive. Jump right into it, playing with the top competition out there, still balling, still doing your thing. How was that whole Team USA journey? Talk to me about that. Educate the Done Deal people about that.
It's a lot more
Any
political than people
controversy
think.
there?
Yeah, just a little bit. I mean, you know, what I can't say, others can. So,
Right.
but it's a good thing for flag football. They are working on getting better, but we didn't get a fair shake, if you want to say that. Like when I went to Chula Vista, they said that everything was based, besides the fact that I've had a tremendous year prior to that anyway, Chula Vista. We get to Chula Vista and they tell us, oh, everything that happens in Chula Vista is what's going to determine who makes that final 15. So just so people have like an understanding, they made 4 teams and there was 4 quarterbacks. No, there was 3 teams, 3 quarterbacks. All the quarterbacks rotated. So we played games, and then the first game, like I would be playing with like Marshall, and Eric will be by himself. So I would have to go one drive, Marshall one drive, me one drive, Marshall one drive. We won that game. The next game, it's me and Eric together, Marshall's by himself. I won that game. The next game, I'm by myself, and it just so happened that the last game, it was me, Pablo, Duke. It was all the Florida guys.
Wow.
Lulu, all of us on the same team. Already, like USA was trying to cut that game. They didn't want to play it. They were saying that it was too much. Let's just keep it at the 2 games, blah, blah, blah. And then like Pablo, Lulu, Duke, a couple like Duke and Pablo for sure were like, yo, no, we need this. Like, this is when we're going to be able to shine. Like, Donkey gives the ball to everybody. Like, these other quarterbacks are just force feeding their guys, blah, blah. So I win that game too. So I was 3-0. And the only game that both Eric and Marshall won, which is the 2 Texas quarterbacks, were the games that they played with me on my team. Lulu got a pick 6 to end that game and had scored with me at quarterback, obviously.
Right.
And at the end of the thing, when they were announcing their teams, they were saying that Lulu didn't make enough plays. Like that they didn't know who Lulu was. How do you not know who Lulu is if you invited him to the selections? You know what I mean? So it's getting better. Hopefully we can get it to a point where they are taking the best of the best. Because it's not only the best of the best, dude, it's the best clean players. So you got to be clean too. You can't be, you know, on drugs or whatever, you know, stuff like that. So you have to be clean. But I mean, it was a great experience. I got invited again to the USA trials, so I'll be there again. But I'm not going in with the same expectations no more because I know that my appearance isn't what they want. They've made that clear without officially saying it because they can't officially say that.
Right. It's kind of like the NFL with having to interview certain players just to check off a list or some shit. Do you ever feel it gets to that point? Or because if they're inviting you, they must be seeing something in you, but do you feel like it's pointless sometimes?
I don't want it to feel like that,
Right.
and I'm doing my best not to get to that point.
Right.
Because, for a while, in all honesty, man, this DD thing is what kind of gave me a little bit of love for flag again, because I was already not over with it, but it was just like, I'll just start
Losing
playing these
like yeah,
travel
losing that.
tournaments. Yeah. And whatever happens, happens. But I mean, I'm excited for it. I've been, Lulu's got this great app that he has that you pay for, and he does workouts and stuff for you. He customizes the workouts just for you. So I've been doing on that, just to try to get myself in the best shape I possibly can, not only to play defense and DD, but I want to make sure that when we go to the USA trials in March, that now I'm giving them something else to think about.
Right.
So I always want to make their job even harder. Like, I'm not going to make it easy for you guys. Like, if you guys want to cut me, I'm going to make it extreme. Like, I want y'all to sit down in your little round table and have a real conversation about it.
Like make it tough on them.
Yep.
That's awesome though. That's an interesting point you brought up, that you said that Done Deal kind of is keeping that love for the game in a different way, because shout out to Johan, because he came back, if I'm not mistaken, because of Done Deal. And he got into it, loved it, obviously became one of the owners, and ever since, I'm not gonna lie, it's been Done Deal. It's been crazy. How far is your drive?
Like, it's like 2 hours for the most part.
Damn, man. Because shout out to you. Shout out to Justin that comes from Atlanta. Shout out to Renee Diaz that comes from Seattle to play in tournaments. Shout out to whoever has traveled just to play in any of these Done Deal tournaments. We appreciate that, because we're a small Done Deal family. It's not it's not huge. It's not that easy to get into, in my opinion, and it requires a certain character. Speaking about character, let's talk about the incident that we had here. I would love to hear your opinion. I don't know if you saw it or you heard with Brandon and Jesus Ramos, which is your one of your teammates' brother. From your perspective, your opinion, how do you think it makes this league look like?
I have no idea what happened.
No?
I had no idea what happened. I mean, I went into the bathroom and I seen Ramos's brother in there, and he was trying to calm down and stuff like that. And I just kind of walked out the back. I didn't know what he was, he doesn't know me, so he doesn't. I'm not the most approachable guy, man. People look at me and they just don't. So he didn't say anything to me, so I just walked outside, and I went by my business. But I don't know what happened. I know that I seen Peña leaving, and I told him, I was like, "What's up, man? You done for the day?" And he was like, "Yeah, man." He told me I had to leave the premises. I didn't know what happened. I thought he just spazzed out, or had like a bad screaming stuff, and and the guys were like, "Yo, you can't be doing that here," and they kicked him out. So I don't know what happened there.
Right. I mean, you obviously saw the announcements where we spoke about how they wanted to have more security now, and a cleanup crew and all this, and what a coincidence that we decide to get the loudest after they do that, So I was just trying to get your perspective on overall, because what people don't understand, and trust me, bro, I've been playing Done Deal since season 5. I am as competitive as anybody on that field. Might not be the most talented, but when it comes to being competitive, I am a tier A1. I get that people get heated. I understand that people say shit. It's like you say, if it's on the flag football field, it's on the flag football field.
Yeah, man.
We can't allow that to pretty much destroy our brand, to destroy the connections that we have, because shout out to Andres and Johan. Those two are pretty much the two primary people when it comes to getting these fields. They work their ass off, hours and hours and hours, to try to get us the best possible field that we possibly can. So that's something that people aren't understanding. So I'm going to take this 1 minute or 2 minutes. Hopefully you guys are actually take what I'm trying to tell you. Guys, let's start behaving a little bit more here. We don't want to make decisions where we need to kick somebody out or suspend somebody or do this or not. At the end of the day, we're all paying the same amount of money. We're all trying to ball. We're all trying to pay for that star. If you guys lose sight of that, if you guys are losing sight of how this league is, and you're going to continue to create problems, then maybe, you got to reevaluate the situation. But let's switch topic on that.
Just keep it football, guys. Keep it football.
Keep it football. So one of my sources, which I'm not gonna reveal one of my sources, but he was giving me some some good questions, and he ends up being a fan of the show apparently. So he knows that I always ask questions like this. But in your opinion, who's the most overrated player in Done Deal?
Most overrated player in Done Deal. I like him, but I think Beaky's probably the most overrated player in Done Deal.
Yo, producer, we're gonna have to clip that real quick. Talk to me. Why?
I feel like he's not tiers above everybody at the quarterback position. Right?
Right.
Or am I wrong?
No. I get what you're saying. We were talking about okay.
And defensively, is he tiers above everybody defensively?
I mean, it's your opinion.
He's not. I mean, he can't cover. He can cover, but you put him one-on-one with the top tier receivers in Done Deal, and he can't cover them one-on-one. He can try to scheme up some stuff, but he ain't covering them one-on-one, man. And again, I think Beaky's a great player.
Right.
I'm not saying he's not a great player, but for him to be ranked number 1 in the league, it's a little overkill.
Who do you think should be ranked number 1?
I think the best player in Done Deal is Lulu. Everybody's going to say it's because I play with him and all that, but no. If you're starting a team right now, who are you going to go draft? The best offensive weapon in Done Deal and the best safety in Done Deal. So if he's the best in both, what does that make him?
Right. I had Lulu ranked number 1. I don't know, one of these seasons or one of these tournaments. I had him ranked number 1. I'm just not gonna lie. He's disappointed me. Ever since he won that tournament.
At
quarterback. This is the first time I'm seeing him at his natural position. But there's gonna be a point, in my opinion, where both of you are not gonna play. Right, together? You think so? I mean, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I would say so. I would say that there's gonna be a point where we don't, but he still will be a great offensive weapon if he played with other quarterbacks. He would still do damage with Beaky at quarterback. He would still do damage with Johan at quarterback, with Johan at quarterback. He would still do really well with Raymond at quarterback, with Josh at quarterback. He will still put up the same amount of numbers. We just make it look a little bit more effortlessly, but he would still do the same.
He's gonna ball out. I'm a huge Lulu fan here. We're gonna ball out, but he's not gonna put up the same numbers as you're putting up with you.
Yeah, not the exact same, but he will still be up there.
Because that post corner, like that shit's just like that's money. That's crazy. It's money because I think Jordan said it on Captain's Corner. Shout out to them. He goes, bro, you put Lulu in the middle of the field, and you're picking left and right.
Yeah,
and it's impossible. It's literally like impossible. And he's that fast where you don't need that much time to throw. Where you could literally just throw it right before his break, and it's nuts. It's honestly a genius scheme. And I was hearing about it earlier on, like Kevin was talking about it. Oh yeah, bro, they're gonna put Lulu at center. He's gonna play his natural position with Tronki. This isn't that, and it's working out for you guys. Now let me ask you something. All these losses that you had, has it been to one specific reason that you guys haven't figured out yet, or is it a bunch of different reasons?
No, it's just a couple little miscues and stuff like that. And it's like I said, man, I don't believe in just feeding Lulu. You know, I give my other guys chances, and there's just been a couple games where, like the Ravens game, for example, they stopped us once. But on the one stop, Seabass dropped a touchdown, and Lulu missed me on a handoff play. So if you take away that drop, we win 4-3. But they ended up beating us. But there's a couple, like the same thing happened in the Giants game. I threw Lavaris I think it was a go. Mm-hmm. And it was a tougher catch, but he dropped it. But that would have put the game away. And then I threw a pick going at Chris Lee. He picked me off to win the game too. So I mean, we're always going to take chances, but every game we've lost, we felt like like we should have won or could have won. So it's one of those, did we lose or did they beat us?
One of
And in
those
a lot of those
situations.
games, we felt like we lost,
All
you
right.
know.
On the South Conference, right? You haven't played any of those teams. Do you think there's any team there that can compete with you guys?
Bro, I haven't watched Biki's team play yet, or Joan's new team neither. But the games that I've refed, I don't really like. The teams that I've seen play, I don't like. I've seen the Cardinals, the Colts. Who else have we ref? Like even Andy. I mean, Andy wouldn't, and I love Andy to death too, but Andy wouldn't stand a chance because we would rush Lulu and force Kevin Corona to beat us.
Damn. Damn.
So I don't really see anybody in that conference that I've been able to watch play right now that can compete with not only us, with our whole division is a little bit better than people think.
No, I mean it's nuts. That division's nuts. I mean, I still firmly believe the Ravens are the number one in power rankings.
Yeah.
They won 2 games without two of their players pretty much. One of them being their captain. I thought that was very impressive. And there's continuing to find wins.
One of them was a 4-on-4 game though.
It was a 4-on-4 game. It was a 4-on-4 game. And they didn't have Johan, right? I think it was the Eagles.
Yeah, that was in their favor.
That was in their favor. Yeah. But nonetheless, bro, they didn't have Pat, and I think they didn't have Kevin that week. I think it was Kevin, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Kevin.
Yeah.
This was Kevin's first week with Johan. But talk to me about the DDPA. How do you feel like they've been this season?
I haven't been around long enough to kind of judge what they've done in other ones, but I mean, for the most part, some of the trades seem to be fair. I'm with Beaky on the whole Joan one, like him getting traded by 2 rookies or whatever, and I don't know if that was like an even trade, but I guess it was good enough, you know. But I mean, like they're saying is as long as I just don't believe in the whole as long as the 2 teams agree, because if we were to try to ship off George Ramos for a better tier 6 and somebody agreed to do it, they're not gonna let it happen. You know?
Yeah,
so.
I mean, there's more logic to it than just that. That's why it sounds ridiculous when Peaky says that. Reason being, obviously, I'm playing with the Falcons, and it's me for Lulu. We both teams agree for that.
Yeah.
The DDPA is never gonna approve that. You know what I'm saying? It's like some things are common sense. If the trades are close and it's not something that's reaching so far, and both teams agree, and both teams could give the DDPA reason and give myself reason that they feel like they got better, then the trade's gonna go through.
Yeah. The one that I do disagree with 100% is the Juju pickup.
Really?
We refed a lot of their games. How can I ref your game and I don't even know who the guy that got dropped is? Like, I have no idea who that guy is. If you put him in front of me right now, I cannot tell you, that's the guy that dropped.
Right.
Like, that guy made no plays.
Right.
The games that we were reffing. Like, I have no idea who that guy is, and then they get this guy out of nowhere. So I think that made them a lot better.
I personally think Juju's overrated. I could be wrong. I haven't really been watching much Lions games. I would have to go back to the stats, but I don't think he's been making that much noise, man.
But he doesn't have a quarterback.
All right, but maybe that was DDP looked at the team and looked at the situation. They didn't think his impact, obviously, you know, but I don't think that decision really affected it. I get it. A lot of people don't know who Alex Ross is, because he's fairly new to the game, but I don't think it made much of a difference. Is Juju slightly better? He might be. I don't think he changes anything, more or less. And look at the Chargers with Ian. They picked up Ian. Ian's a baller, but Ian needs to be locked in and playing. You know. I saw Eddie a few times. Him going at it with him, going out with other players. To me, it's always interesting, and I always enjoy watching Eddie play. just simply because his back and forth and his banter, and then he has that peaky effect where he tells you something, and it's also the lawyer effect, and he tells you and you believe him, and you're just like, oh shit, I need to make this call now. If Eddie's telling me this way and he's speaking to me this way, I need to make this call. So shout out to all my refs and all the DD players for standing their ground and not letting themselves get pushed over. But let's talk about refs. Every season, this is your first full season.
Yeah.
Refs are a huge part of the game. People say, oh, Done Deal should pay refs, or Done Deal should do this and that, or maybe they should get better training. Talk to me about the refs. Give me your opinion. Give me your whole outlook. Talk to me.
Well, they can win you a game and they can lose you a game. The best thing to do is to don't let the refs be a part of the game.
Score 4.
It's that simple, man. I mean, we felt like we got hosed in the whole 49er and not the 49er in the Raiders game with the whole reaching. Like Jaime had go gadget arms and reach from the 5, stuff like that. But I mean, bro, those are calls that anybody can miss. We're gonna miss them too while we're reffing. So I don't hold anything against none of them, man. I mean, I've had a couple calls on me that I felt weren't calls, but like I said, if you don't want them to make those calls, then don't put yourself in that position.
All right.
Blow everybody out.
I feel that. Done deal. Top 2 quarterbacks is you and Yon, in my opinion. I think a lot of people will agree on that. Now, he beat you in the tournament, but did you get stopped?
No.
That was a back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Then, of course, overtime. The famous overtime. Every Done Deal tournament, I think, has gone into overtime, and pretty much whoever gets the ball first ends up winning the game. That just shows you how great these teams are and how great evenly matched they are. I am dying to see this matchup. Obviously, you guys are in different conferences, I believe.
Yeah, we played in week 1.
But you played in week 1. But now you have your final teams. In my opinion, I think he made his team worse with this trade he made. He had Georgie. He had a good thing going for you. He, as a lot of people like to say, he got blessed by him getting traded. But does he come close to you in the quarterback position?
No. You can grab every quarterback in Done Deal, put them together, add their championships, and I got more than all of them combined.
Well, that's a fact. A fact I didn't know. Damn.
I got over 20 plus nationals dating back to when Top Gun was what it was too. And that's not just me trying to be cocky, dude. Joan's a good quarterback, but they're not on my level.
And you're talking about, when you say on your level, you're strictly talking about the QB position, obviously, because that's a position you play.
Yeah.
But does it ever I don't see find the right word. Do you ever get bothered when they talk about other quarterbacks and they say, oh, this guy's the best, or this guy's balling at this and that, and they kind of forget you? Do you ever feel that?
Of course, man. As a competitor, things are always going to bother you. But like I said, it's just more motivation for me. Every time I hear it, or every time I don't get mentioned, like even this year, dude, go look at the stats. All these guys are considered MVP candidates, and my stats are just as good as theirs, with the defensive stats and everything added to it. I think I got like 4 touchdown catches or 3 touchdown catches. I got more than a handful of flag pulls, more than a handful of picks. Where I got like 3 picks, I think. I got, the pick 6. I got like 20 plus total touchdowns. Like my numbers are all right there.
Let's talk numbers. Let's talk numbers.
Go ahead.
33 passing touchdowns, 4 catches, 6 passing interceptions, 3 receiving touchdowns, and 2 interceptions.
And the flag pools. How many flag pools I got?
14. You got 14.
Now go look at Joan's and go look at Peaky's.
Let's go look at these nerds real quick. Let's compare stats and let's see what each of these guys have. All right, let's look at Yohan. because Yohan cares about stats. Because his players get interceptions. Hey, stop at the 1.
Nah, I ain't never telling nobody to stop.
Man, I don't get that, bro. Hey, if future reference, if I ever get an interception, because I rarely get them, I'm fucking scoring. I don't give a
I
fuck
want you to
about your
score.
stats. All
I
right,
want you to
cool.
score. I don't want to go on offense.
Hey, next season 4v4, draft me. All right, let's see here. Jets, Yohan. Okay, Yohan has 37 passing touchdowns, so that's pretty big difference, in my opinion. 20 flag pulls, 5 passing interceptions, 2 interceptions, no receiving touchdowns. So you could say your receiving touchdowns and his passing touchdowns kind of balance each other out. But as Dundee experience, I think the seeding is going to be very important when it comes to that. I think your stats are pretty even.
He just went 1 and 2, right?
He just went 1 and 2. Yeah, and after the trade that supposedly people were freaking out about, Pinky's like, "Oh, bro, great job, Yohan." And somebody else was like, "Bro, you did it again, bro. Everybody looking out for you, this and that." I really think he got worse. You lost Georgie, bro. Georgie's a baller,
Georgie's
man.
good. Yeah,
Georgie's a
a good
baller,
player.
bro. And let's look at Mr. Edgar himself. All right. Peaky. 33 passing touchdowns, 4 passing interceptions, 17 flag pulls, and 4 interceptions with 1 receiving touchdown. I
So
mean,
they're all right there.
they're all right there, more or less. They're all right there. Peaky has 2 more interceptions than you guys, as he should, because as he should, right?
Yeah.
You and Yohan just getting interceptions. That's impressive on its own. Because shit, I might be faster than Yohan now, which is crazy. 17 flag pulls, which is solid. I mean, yeah, bro. I mean, this is all debatable. I don't know if you know how the MVP works though. I pick 3 or 4 names, and every Dundee player is forced to pick in 1, 2, 3 those players in whatever order they feel like should win the race. Because previous seasons we've had people pick Andres for MVP, for example, and waste a vote, and then people say that people have it against Peaky or whatever the case may be. But you think your name should be in the MVP race? I'm assuming.
No, every time I touch the field, I feel like I'm the best player on it. So I feel like
I mean,
should be nominated for everything.
you got 4 more games. Y'all got 4 more games. I think honestly, man, what you guys have done is impressive. As I said, if you guys could get that 1 seed, which let me see, you're not far off, bro. Do you play the Ravens?
No, we already played them. We
You
played
already
them
played
twice already. Yeah.
So you're kind of
I know they're going to be missing Georgie. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're kind of hoping for them to lose. I'm not gonna lie. If the Ravens go 3-1 without Georgie, that's pretty fucking impressive.
That'll be good.
But
Devin's playing good ball right now, man.
It's funny because Devin's first 2 seasons, he was dog water. He was shit. He was top 3 worst quarterbacks. I remember he played a tournament and we ranked him towards the bottom. He figured it out. I don't know what switched in him, but shout out to Devin. He's improved his game. He's having fun. He's playing with his friends. He's playing with his brothers, pretty much.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. I want to thank you for being on the show, bro. This was a different type of hot seat, in my opinion. People got to learn a little bit of Tronki from people that aren't really connected to the flag football world. But now we're at the point where you have the privilege to ask me a question. I'll be completely truthful. Make it a good question. Make it a tough question. So talk to me.
If you had to pick a duel, so starting receiver or center, whatever, but offensively, quarterback and receiver, who are you picking?
Does a bear shit in the woods? You and Lulu, bro. You
They
and
need to
Lulu.
stop doubting us, man.
That's why I keep putting y'all in my Dundle lineup, or one of you in my Dundle lineup, because I know it's like, all right, automatic. Let me just get my points already. Let me just have that in the stats right there. Let me not even worry about that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, bro. Honestly, man, that connection is crazy. Uh, I'm now, bro, talking to you more, and Lulu, that we talk here and there, man. Lulu's another one of those players. I said Peaky deserves a star because Peaky, he annoys the shit out of me. Um, and sometimes like he's just annoying as fuck, but he deserves to win a star because he loves this league. And anybody that fucking puts effort into this league, 'cause as much as I do, and as much as I love the league, I respect the shit out of you. I think you're gonna be playing in future done deal tournaments and seasons,
Yes,
right?
yes, sir.
The drive
Yes,
isn't
sir.
too bad. All right, cool,
Nah,
cool, cool.
nah. The drive is not. Don't worry about the drive.
We'll try to keep the parks as south as possible for you. But yeah, man. And Lulu's another one, man. Lulu's a nerd. Lulu's a nerd
Hey,
in a good way. And bro, I'm hearing that guy shows film to some of his players. This is what you should do better. He does research. He's asked for different opinions. He tries to scheme as best as possible. I want that man to win a star. I know he won a tournament, but that star feels nice, man. Having those stars in the back of your shirt, that's what Dundee is
listen,
all
bro.
about.
I'm Throngi, and Lulu sends me film. Tell him, telling me what I get. What I
Oh
and I, hey, bro,
shit! The
and I
motherfucker say
respect it. I
I'm
mean,
that guy, and I'm being sent film. I'm being sent film from
he
that
sends
guy.
it to me, dude. He sends it to me, and I respect him for it, bro. And a lot of people don't realize, like, yeah, me and Lulu are as good as we are, dude. But Lulu comes to the keys, dude, and we do field work for like 3 hours, four
Wow,
hours, Saturday and
wow,
Sunday before every major tournament we go to.
wow.
So that doesn't come without work, man. And and one more thing is I don't want people to think I'm hating on Peaky at all. Peaky went to a tournament with me and Lulu and played receiver, dude, and was still that guy. People don't realize how good he is offensively when he's at receiver. Like I think he actually fell back a little bit going to quarterback.
Right.
But that's just the knowledge of flag football that I got and how I see certain players. Like I just feel like there's so many players that could be so much better than they are, but they're on the wrong situation, wrong teams, wrong people leading the way for them or whatever it is. Like
Do
there's
you
a
feel
lot
like
of
there's
great
another
players.
player like that? Like aside from Peaky, do you feel like there's another player in the flag world or
Well, like
that?
Chris D is one of them that I think could be so much better than what he is. And Chris D, had the opportunity to play with me back in the days, and I didn't. I respected his decision and everything for making it, but like, bro, like when I came back to playing flag, I couldn't get people to play with me.
Damn.
I got gifted Lulu. George Kakuda called me and said, Tronki, you might want to take this guy. He can't really play in the leagues, and all you do is play travel tournaments. He was like, give him a call and see if he's willing to play with you and stuff like that. And I called Lulu up. We took him to a tournament. Lulu started playing with me. I got out from like the C League, but like, bro, there's players like I think Chris D, he picked and it was one of those like he was gonna play with us or play with 305, and he made the right decision. He went to 305, got a natty for it, worlds or whatever you want to call it. But there's players that I think that are in situations where they could be like Peña to me is an example.
It's
I think
freak.
Peña could be so much better than what he is in the right situation, with
Right.
the right people traveling, being around the right crowd. Like flag football is so much bigger than what a lot of people take, and this is coming from somebody that's been playing it forever, So I
Right.
just feel like there's, certain players don't lose hope, man. Your time will come eventually. Just keep putting in work, man, and somebody will notice. Like Peña got noticed for a reason, you know what I mean? He played on a team and got better. So do you guys give awards for every tier?
Yes, sir. Best
Yeah.
tier, most catches, most interceptions, all that, man. That's what Dundee is all about. We want to reward everyone, and that's why it's crucial. The draft's so crucial because it's where you get drafted. Now, a question popped up which I should have asked, and I knew I was missing something. Out of every single organization in the flag football world, like the ones that you play on a consistent basis that we know down here in South Florida, that if you're gonna say most of Dundee is gonna know, which one sucks? That every time you play them, it's a fucking joke. Like it's not even worth playing them. You know you're gonna whip their ass.
At the pro level?
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie to you. Last year, Swoosh was that for us. Like, no, and this no shit. They know it too. Like every time we played Swoosh, we would beat them. And then they got us. They got us last year. You know, when Lulu left to go play with grown ups, and we played them in Worlds and little round robin games, and they beat us. And you can just tell the difference, you know, like in the joy that they had when they beat us. And I mean, they're a really good team, dude. But it was one of those two where they didn't match up good against us. It's not that we were just that much better than they were. They just didn't match up well against our speed. But I mean, I don't think that they're trash. I'm trying to think of who else, like, because I never get to play any of the, you know, like I only really play Swoosh and like Don't Sleep, you know. A lot of people, especially in that Flag Football World Championship tour, they get to pick and choose who they play type stuff. You know, you get to pick your schedule sort of, and who's gonna pick us. You know? You ain't really getting picked. Right. People are gonna run away from us as much as they possibly can. So
damn, I knew I had a question that I didn't ask because I have it written down here, and it's one of the three questions that only three questions I have written down, and I didn't ask this one. Why did Lulu leave you to join Grown Ups, and then he came back to talk to me?
He see, like, which is another thing too that I think ESS got a bad rep, dude. Because and tell me if I'm wrong, right? Angel helps out his team, right?
Yep.
Why don't people bash Angel? You know, Brian helps out ESS in a sense, and ESS got such a bad rep for it. Like we're paying players to play, and nah, man, you know, everybody pays whatever the guy asks for. If he asks, like even myself included, if he asks you for $350 to go to Texas, that's what you pay, $350. Same thing that Angel does and stuff like that. And I mean, we get the bad rep for it. So Lulu's case was he wasn't seeing eye to eye with some of the situations we had going on and some of the direction that we were going with. And it wasn't, you know, like it was my decision or anything like that. Like I don't run ESS. You know, I have a big say-so in it. I can, you know, but he just didn't see eye to eye with a couple people. And he felt that his situation would be better somewhere else if that was the case. And then once I put my foot down and was like, yo, I'm done with it. Either we fix what we got going on and we go after Lulu and stuff like that, or I'll just figure it out on my own. And here we are.
And he came back.
Yeah.
But that's good, man. That's dope. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, yeah, you got to do what's best for you guys, you know. Do what's best for the team. Do what you feel is best. Hopefully, y'all have more success. And shout out to all of Miami teams. I hope one of y'all take it in Tampa.
Yes,
I think I'm going to be out there in Tampa rocking my all done deal shit. So I'm going to be rooting for every single done deal player out there. So make sure y'all represent, and that's it, bro. Any last words for Done Deal?
Nah, man. I love it. Keep it going, guys. Let's get better. Keep it football.
Cool.
From tier 6 to tier 1, man. Just play hard.
Cool.
Your chance will come.
Yeah. Translation: all y'all suck. None of y'all on my level. Get out the Bucks. Yon, you suck. Peaky, you're trash. Devin, you're okay. All right.
Number 1 defense, 3 tier 6s.
Number 1 defense, 3 tier 6s. All right, guys, you heard it here first. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Hopefully, y'all appreciate the early content. Shout out to Andres for doing absolutely nothing for Done Deal. All right, bye. Peace.
Bye, bro. Shout out, Andres.